Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Eric Zandona on the Florida Emerald Coast.
Ah, that sounds so cool. I wish I could say it. I'm inland in the armpit of the San Gabriel Valley. So
San Gabriel Valley sounds good.
Yeah,
like
well, you know, but
armpit, not so much.
The armpit, not so much. Yeah, I know.
You gotta sell it. You gotta sell it.
Well, it's here, but this is a great location for an RTD. So
that's right.
Eric and I are going to be tasting and dissecting Chido. I love the name. I love that we nominated it for Brand of Promise in the packaging. It's so cool. But this is the pink Paloma. And I haven't even showed the boxes. These are the kind of boxes of the 4-can boxes that they come in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of really neat. Somewhere along the line, I'm gonna try and share my my screen with you. They didn't send us any information, but they sent us their display thing, which they have some really clever displays for end caps and things like that in supermarkets and stores and things like that. So, but anyway, it's a 5%. Yep, 5%.
5%.
We're gonna pop. Go ahead. You first.
I was just gonna say they're using the tall, kind of skinny cans, which are nice. They're good, holding on to. Yeah,
and well, by the way, how many? We should mention the ounces just to be safe, right?
Yeah, it's 12. It's 12 ounces. So it's
12 ounces.
Size. It's just a little bit taller.
It was established in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, folks. Right when the RTD category exploded. Because everybody took a chunk of that White Claw market. We're going to taste it at room temp. Then we're going to pour it. We're going to pause and take a chilled one. This sounds like it's got carbonation as well. I'm going to pour mine in a rocks glass, my Los Angeles Dodgers rocks glass. Ooh, yeah. Go Dodgers. And let's see, Eric's using his Glencairn.
Yeah.
Again, it's not much color, it's just a little bit.
For a Paloma, this is really what you would expect, right? With grapefruits, soda or like grapefruit juice with a little carbonate, like club soda. So that color, the fact that it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit yellow, totally,
almost pink. So like a light rose color almost.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that between all the lettering that's on my glass, like LA.
I'll have to get an A's glass and then we'll taste it.
That's right. Yeah, if they can afford to make any. Every time I get together with the guys, it depends on where their baseball team is. When Jim and I get together, he's a Cleveland Guardians fan.
Right. They change.
We have all kinds of going back and forth with that. That's just so funny. That whole situation in Ohio is just wrong. I love the nose on this. Again, it's got a great nose.
Yeah, the aroma is really nice. The grapefruit is definitely there. I would say the tequila aroma is very similar to the salted sea salt margarita we had. So they're both elements are definitely right up front.
Yep.
This is what you kind of want out of a Paloma.
Sure.
Well,
let's dive in and see what we taste now. Oh, that's tart. But that's good at room temp, though. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe what I like most of all is that there's not that salt hit like we got in the sea salt margarita.
Yeah. There isn't the salt, and it's not overly sweet either. Which
no,
it's not what you really want out of Paloma, right? You want the tartness from the grapefruit juice, you want the tequila, and you want it crisp from the carbonation.
Yeah, that's really not bad. And again, the reason we're doing this is because eventually your cold can of RTD is gonna warm up, okay? And I want to know what the base recipe is like at room temp before we get a chilled one. And enjoy it like you and I would, at a picnic.
I think it's a really good base. I think again, for me, like there are some slightly technical things, but that are sort of because it's at 5% and yada yada. The flavor I think isn't quite as intense as I would particularly want. But given it's a 5% cocktail, basically RTD, I think the flavor is about right where it is. And it's not overly sweet, which makes it easier to drink.
And you know what I like
there, but it's light.
Juice, the grapefruit juice is kind of a bit sweeter than it's not bitter, because grapefruit juice tends to be bitter sometimes. There are no bitter notes on the back end of the palate, nothing like that.
Yeah, it's more like in the line of like a ruby red kind of grapefruit.
Yeah, or a Texas ruby red, as they say. So stick with us. I'll be right back. I'm going to go pause this and I'm going to go get me a cold one. All right. So we're back with a cold one. And we're going to pop this baby open.
A little splatter.
Oh, it went flat on you?
No, a little splatter.
Oh, that's what, I learned the hard way. I popped one of these once. I forget who I was doing the RTD review with, and it got all over my keyboard. It's like, oh no more of that. Because you don't know, these things have been, they traveled in transit, and if they're carbonated, they're going to be a little banged up, or
yeah.
So we're going to pour it again in the rocks glass, my Dodger rocks glass.
Yeah,
Los Angeles Dodgers. Here we go. Same color. Bubbles are sticking. Now the bubbles are more prominent now. Obviously, the carbonation is activated. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's got some
same good aroma to it. Great, grapefruit, tequila. So
I gotta say, so far I'm really impressed with the nose, the aroma. That's got to be by design, I'm thinking.
Yeah. And the things that probably, from the construction point of view, most people are just probably going to be drinking out of the can.
Right.
If you really amp up the aroma, you're going to probably get, the drinking experience is going to be a little bit more enjoyable. So
there's that. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll buy that. All
right. Sure.
Let's dive in and see what we got.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's really good.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, like 5% cocktail, it got all the elements: tequila, grapefruit juice, carbonation. It's nice and crisp. It's on the softer side because it's in that 5% range, but really nice.
Yeah, it's actually quite refreshing. I mean, I can see nothing. It ticks all the boxes. It really does.
Yeah.
And this one I think would be okay if it warmed up somewhere, you wouldn't be off put by sour notes or bitter notes, at room temperature.
Yeah. The one thing though, I thinking about now, both with this and with the sea salt margarita, because it's in that lower ABV range, I think these are really going to be best chilled either out of the fridge or out of a cooler.
Yeah.
Rather than over ice. Because I think if you start letting the ice melt in your glass with this, the flavors, you're gonna get lost, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you pour it over the rocks, so it's not technically like a ranch water would be like on the rocks, right? You don't want to. You're gonna have more tequila in it, more alcohol,
right?
To counteract the.
If this was like in the 10 or 12% range, that would probably work. But where it's at, this is just meant drink it right out of the can, chill.
Yeah, at the beach, have a good time. I mean, that's all. We nominated for Brand of Promise in the packaging category.
Yeah,
I really do love this packaging. Now, we'll just to be safe, if you haven't watched the other review yet, you can, but we'll just reiterate. It's 120 calories. This is a 12-ounce can, 5%.
12-ounce can.
And to be fair, no nom number. So this is being canned in the United States, and whether it says tequila with sparkling water and natural flavor, I agree with all of it. That's, you know, I'm sure the flavors. Well, do we even have ingredients in this thing?
No, and this is one of the things. So they're putting the serving facts on it, but this is, you know, again, this is a little inside baseball. This is completely optional for them because it's a alcohol-based drink.
Yeah.
So they don't have to list the ingredients like you would with like a soda or some other soft drink.
Well, you know, this is the well-made ones. For instance, we just I think Dave and I did an organic RTD, and they're very transparent. It had a nom number on it, and it had all the ingredients in it too. Yeah. So, you know, I guess the transparency is up to the owners, the people who put this together.
Well, there's a certain amount of information. So this portion here about the tequila, sparkling water, natural flavor, that is dictated by the government, the Alcohol, Tobacco, Tax and Trade Bureau. They consider that sufficient amount of information for ingredients versus like FDA rules. You have to be much more precise. So, you know, but anyway, things are moving in that direction. I like that they included the calorie count and the breakdown. You don't see that as much on other RTDs. So
that's true.
I think it's
other than that, oh, and by the way, since there's no number on it, we are putting it in a mixto category because, again, as Eric just stated, TTB says that's all you need.
Yeah.
Great. You know, but I do know, for instance, that there are distilleries now that have canning facilities and bottling facilities. So it's becoming more and more of an option for people to have that nom number to can and bottle in Mexico. But these folks are not. We had one. Did you and I do one? Were they based in San Francisco? It was a small, came in a real tiny can. It was a great margarita mix. They were stating that they were using tequila 100%, but they weren't putting it on the can. We had to put it in a separate category because you could tell us till you're, you know, all day long, but if it doesn't say it on the can, you're right. We're going to consider you a mixto, and I got no problem with mixto or diffuser tequilas being used for something like this. Not a bad thing. So anyway, that's our take on this pink Paloma. Stick with us. We got another 2 flavors.
So did we say brand of promise nominee?
Yeah. You know, I need to get you a paddle. I keep warning the guys or threatening them. I'm going to send them one of these and an ice cream stick, and I'm going to tell them, you know what to do with the rest of it. So all of us have a paddle. I'm going to do it too. You're going to be surprised one day. Something will come in the mail. What is this? I got an ice cream stick. But yeah, brand of promise nominee in that category in this pink Paloma. Folks, stick with us. You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're looking at us on Instagram, hey, follow us on Tequila Aficionado. Follow Eric at Easy Drinking because Eric is famous. Because he doesn't just drink tequila, he drinks everything. That's why I like throwing him the kitchen sink, because he'll drink that too. Anyway, but follow us, give us a like, hit the notification bell so that way you know when we everything that we record the month before we stream the first of every month. So you can binge watch us binge drink, okay? And whatever you
drink responsibly though.
Yeah, exactly right. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.